My name is Örjan Bodin. I'm a professor in environmental science. I'm based at Stockholm University at the research center Stockholm Resilience Center. So I am deputy editor of the journal, and I've been that now for around a year. I'm working on many different things, probably too many though. But one common thread in much of my research is to focus on collaboration. Many of the problems that we are faced with today require different actors, sectors, organizations to come together and find solutions. And that sounds easy, but collaboration doesn't just happen like that. And even if you collaborate, it doesn't necessarily mean that you come up with some good solutions. And collaborations often involve conflict in one way or another. So one of the things that I'm focusing on quite much is to study collaboration, but also conflict in parallel, and see how conflict and collaboration in mitigating and managing different environmental problems, how that could be improved or better understood, actually better understood and then improved. So that's one of the key topics in my research. Even though there are a lot of journals, to be honest, there are a lot of journals, but I think this journal has an opportunity to fill a gap. So it's the global, we have global in title, but it means like the issues that we want to bring forward in the journal should have global relevance. That doesn't mean that all the studies need to be global in scope, but it's a venue to discuss and elaborate sustainability challenges with global relevance, even if the studies might be more local and so on. So I think that's a niche that we are trying here to carve out in this publication landscape, which is pretty big and sometimes even a bit wild. It was quite simple. Emily asked me if I wanted to join the board, and I said yes. I think it's a great opportunity to contribute to sustainability science, and I think the journal has a key role to play in that development. Obviously, with open access, it means that everyone on planet Earth can read your paper if they like. So it opens up new doors, in particular getting readers from regions where they might be working in universities or they might not be academics at all, and they can easily access your paper, and it can also help you to promote your papers in other media as well. Since you can, for example, like if you're on social media, you just provide a link, and then everyone can actually see the paper instead of having to go through paywalls and all that stuff. So it's a great benefit for the authors that you can actually, when you have your paper published, everyone can see it. Of course, there are many challenges that we face today. So it's hard to say or hard to pick one to start with, but I think one key challenge that we are facing today in terms of the problems that we need to deal with as soon as possible will be the transformation and transition of the energy system. So one of the key things in terms of combating climate change is obviously to reduce the emission of greenhouse gases, and much of that comes from the energy sector, obviously. But changing the energy system is going to be a pretty massive task. We need to use much more of wind power and solar energy and so on, but doing that, transforming into these different systems would require quite much changes. For example, land use change. Putting out a windmill, it takes land, and you need to use land for that specific purpose, and I can foresee that might be some conflicts around that. It's a lot of different challenges that comes from transforming the energy system. So I think, of course, there are many different challenges when it comes to sustainability, but I think this is one of them worth highlighting as something that we would very much like to see more papers on.